Now, over halfway through Season 3 of The Gilded Age, the series still has a lot of questions left to answer and big stories to continue for each of its main characters. Specifically, in a show full of glamorous events, The Gilded Age Season 3, Episode 4's wedding was one of the most lavish, but also set up a lot of trouble for many of those involved. After Gladys Russell's unhappy marriage to Hector, Duke of Buckingham, Episode 5 dives right into their married life and the fallout the marriage had on her family specifically. While Bertha and George Russell are facing more turmoil than ever, Larry Russell is looking forward to new business and love, as are Peggy Scott and Marion Brooke. Lady Sarah is already causing problems in Gladys, and the Duke's marriage. Gladys Russell and Hector, Duke of Buckingham, were just married at the end of The Gilded Age Season 3, Episode 4, but just one episode later, their relationship is unsurprisingly off to a rocky start. The historic Sidmouth Castle is more than the Duke's sister, Lady Sarah, feels that Gladys can handle, and she has made that known. From their arrival at the Duke's ancestral home, Lady Sarah has embarrassed and belittled Gladys every chance she has gotten, from telling her off in front of guests to commanding the Duke's attention. Lady Sarah clearly has the authority at Sidmouth Castle, but this poses a huge problem since Gladys is now the lady of the house. Lady Sarah and the Duke need Gladys' money, but don't actually want her present. So Gladys needs to learn to assert herself to succeed in England in the coming episodes. Something seemed off about Lady Sarah in Episode 4, and this continued into Episode 5 with a reveal that it was her plan for Hector to marry a rich American. Lady Sarah and the Duke need Gladys' money, but don't actually want her present. So Gladys needs to learn to assert herself to succeed in England in the coming episodes. Marion and Larry are now engaged Gladys, and the Duke's marriage is already a huge deal for the Russell family. But their family story this season just got even more dramatic with Larry Russell and Marion Brooke's new engagement. After waiting months to fully confirm their feelings for one another, the pair are finally engaged, but not everyone is thrilled. After Larry and Marion officially get engaged, they quickly tell both their families, but both Marion's aunt, Agnes Van Ryn, and Larry's mother, Bertha Russell, don't seem happy. The two women both feel like they've been left out of the loop, meaning their feelings may have more to do with their own insecurities. Even beyond the judgment that the pair are already facing from their family members, Marion and Larry's relationship does not feel set in stone yet. The episode sees George Russell asking Larry to go to Arizona on business, halting the pair's arrangements and leaving time for the Gilded Age to throw in a curveball. Why George Russell is raising the stakes in his business. George Russell has never been a stranger to risky business deals, but the Gilded Age Season 3 is upping the stakes for the robber baron again. This time, George Russell may be biting off more than he can chew with his new plan for a transcontinental railroad, and his business partners have had no qualms about telling him that. The Gilded Age opened the season in the wild west of Arizona, with George attempting to make a deal to buy land from miners. Since then, he has been trying to negotiate the deal with no success. At the same time, he has overextended himself financially on the project, causing his backers, including J.P. Morgan, to drop out. Even his own secretary told George that he was going too far, hinting that Season 3's remaining episodes may see George and the rest of the Russell family lose it all. Other businessmen have doubted George Russell in past seasons, and he has always come out on top. Something about his Season 3 behavior feels a lot more reckless, though. Even his own secretary told George that he was going too far, hinting that Season 3's remaining episodes may see George and the rest of the Russell family lose it all. Peggy's former flame creates trouble and opportunity.